Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm Count Christo. Thank you ever so very much for joining me. This is the Light in the East campaign. Our wonderful Ottoman Empire looks great. We just recently did some serious expansion in the East, including the very nicely developed Trebizond. Giga, maybe you can help us. We were looking at some code on, by the way, YouTube. Giga, the lead developer on the mod, is in the chat right now. We were looking at the costs for building canals, and it seems that they're purely driven by innate fertility, based on our reading of the code. Is that correct? And if so, can you tell us if the cost of the canal scales linearly with innate fertility, such that essentially the level of fertility in the province is not a relevant consideration for where you should build canals, because the all gains are kind of neutralized by the linear increase in cost? I know that's a very specific question. All right, so I mean, we've got two options right now. One is go after some Crimean Peninsula land, and one is go right for the Mamluks. And considering the coalition, which I would really like to get to war with, ideally. Let's do some spying to that effect. We need to knock out the coalition, basically, before Hungary is able to join it. But I think Hungary will now be able to join it when the truce ends. So either we need to declare war on Hungary the day their truce ends, before they can join the coalition, or wish I knew. You don't toy with it. Totally fair enough. No worries. Based on reading the code, I'm fairly confident of my reading of it. Chiefs are withholding taxes. Gain 200 ducats for a bit of tribal loyalty. Sure, I don't care about tribal loyalty. That said, here, tribes, I'll give you 2 ducats 36 a year to make up for the fact that we took 277 ducats off you. This seems reasonable. And nobles, you can have a gift. Grators, can't give you a gift yet. Burghers, don't really want to do any of these. We've got down to no privileges on both the grators, on the nobles and the burghers. Should be good. Your cuppa message is still up? That's a good point. That's a good point. I forgot to take that down. Sorry, YouTube. I was having a cup of tea between this episode and the last. Which is still way too hot to drink. Okay, so in terms of investment, how are we doing now we built those new universities? So, no difference! We've conquered enough new land that we have exactly the same number of upper class pops without education. Excellent. Let's get one in Moria next. Seems fine. There's no upper class population there, really. Not much. Thank you for the heads up on the cover message. We could put it on here. It's a relatively populous place-ish. Sure, you can have one. Have a local university. We need about 3 or 4 more. We're trying to get a really good education multiplier so that we can get really cost-effective educational investment. We're also working on ramping up our church influence, which will help a lot. Because how is our education spending looking? We're at 34. Oh, we lost 0.2 last year. Ouch. Let's ask the advisors for help. We're currently targeting level 4. And we're missing 1,000 ducats of investment. Wow. This was at 0. Like, we gave them all the endowment they wanted a little while ago. Let's keep targeting 4. And see if that changed anything. No, it's still good. Yeah, all right. We need 1,000 ducats to give to the education. The promotion? No, anything but a promotion. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to take the huge hit that this gives you. For 10 years, we lose infantry combat and morale of armies, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not promoting you. We are fighting a battle against the nobility, and this would be a capitulation. We could lose 2 stability. We didn't lose any. That's fair, because we lost 1 on a 25% earlier, but it's going to cause a lot of unrest, so we're going to have to fight some serious rebels now. How long does the actual unrest last? Is it also 10 years? It is. Jesus Christ. Well, I'm prepared to fight rebels. I'd rather fight rebels than let the lessers continue to promote integrators. We had an okay start on getting our lesser noble influence up versus the graters, but the fight goes on. Okay, there's one instantly. Interesting. Do I not have rebel factions turned on? I do not. Okay. It's a good thing to know. Let's put core construction at the bottom. God, this is something I hope they fix in E5, if that ever comes out. Making it so you can manually adjust the order of the list of things here without having to toggle them on and off. I stand ready and willing. Well, that's good actually. That this rebellion firing early means it's going to really reduce the number of provinces we have the serious unrest in. And at least it's not like the idiotic mechanic in vanilla EU4 at the moment, where when you get noble rebels that siege provinces, somehow the nobles gain the share of the land, which obviously makes no sense at all, because once they rose up and then were put down, that should reduce the amount of land the nobles have, because that's the exact moment that the crown typically seized in order to reduce the influence of nobles by seizing land off treacherous ones, adding it to either the crown land or the lands of noble rebels. Definitely not somehow adding more just because nobles happen to seize a province. I don't dare go in at low morale, so unfortunately they are going to damage that province. But I'm hoping we can get over here before they do. Not a huge deal if they don't. Yeah, we do have the mine, but you know, we can make do. In you go. We got 6,000. Oh god, they have 8,000 cavalry and 5,000 over here. What? Madness. Madness. Could do with we could build up to force limit now that things are getting a bit better. Let's have some more cavalry. Cavalry is really nice for us right now. Yeah, pretty easy fight. We took what, 4,000 casualties, 3,000 casualties. Really not that bad at all. Darn, we are going to lose this one. Hopefully they don't damage the mine. It's a nice level 3 complex we have over there. Is this going to stack wipe? It might not. Otherwise, it's just actually the monthly tick, making it seem like it took longer than it did. Yeah, it didn't stack wipe, but still, come on. Let's get this done. We got him this time. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so a bit of damage to the province, but very briefly occupied. Shouldn't cause too much of a problem. Head over to the other side now. Get those cav reinforcements. Ooh, ping. Apparently my fiancée is sitting on a train next to someone who thinks she's in Kent. Which is funny because she's getting a train from Cardiff to London. We gave too many concessions to the nobles. Their control over our country and decisions have to be approved. We can't do anything without that. The nobles will henceforth decide who will be Cryptus the First of Poland. It's fine by me. You should have stayed allied to me. I could have helped you against those rebellious nobles. But you had to go and rival me just because I burnt down all of Central Hungary in like a horrific war crime, basically. Good times. Good times. If we looted Hungary as much as we looted them the first time right now and then got all of the money, which I know, like, you know, isn't how it works. That can't happen. But if we got all the money directly and put it straight into our education, we could pay for twice of the current deficit on our education spending. Don't fall on 28. Nice. We did just get there in time. And the cores on the Albanian acquisition are about to finish. That's good news. Which way are they fleeing? I like that you can't tell which way they're fleeing because it's the monthly tick. Cool. Excuse my occasional silences. I am usually clearing my throat in them. All right. Keep drilling. And honestly, a few more cavalry. I think we could still do with a few more. And obviously beefing up our army should help to somewhat scare off the coalition. You are able to join the coalition in 4 years, but 9 neglect. I will take the trade value. So these other provinces with the denied, they're basically only firing... Yeah, I mean, the military elite reform is bad. I don't want... I mean, we're still trending down on corruption. I will probably only really consider changing it. But I think we need the manpower from military elite until we take out the Mamluks, basically. And then once we've taken out the Mamluks, we're going to get rid of it. Because the national unrest is going to become more of a problem as the empire becomes larger. And the morale of army it's nice to have, but it doesn't matter. Thing is, none of the others... I guess we'll take appointed elite. Which is effectively minus 5 centralization, but minus 0.1 autonomy is basically as good as 5 centralization. In fact, it's significantly better. Okay, so I think now is the time. I want to switch to being intolerant so we can start converting people. Although, actually, no, never mind. Let's do that once the rebel problem from the lesser nobles has gone away. God, the game runs so much better now I'm not recording using my CPU to render the video. I can't believe I think it's a relatively new feature to get the GPU to do it, but oh, I'm so happy we discovered that. Okay. So, I mean, there's no point sending this extra diplomat. Missionary. We're not even paying the missionary as is. What's the biggest downside on this again? Didn't we had something happen? Oh no, it is converting now. Okay. It was just that we weren't spending for a while after the event fired, so we can begin doing some conversions. Good. We'll begin a slow move towards intolerance. Not an outright policy of intolerance, but at least getting some of our conversions going at a better pace. If we could get rebel and core out, and then add in missionaries at the bottom. That tends to be how I prefer to order my stuff. What are you doing sitting in a port? Ah, yes, I was checking which side of the island the Rhodes port was, isn't it? Wasn't I? Let's put the money into the education system as soon as possible. I want to make sure it doesn't slip down below 30. We're still at level 4 right now, right? 30 and higher? Yeah. Keeping that average level, just so we don't get penalties. In the future, obviously, we'll try and get that higher. Ooh, we have level 5 development right now. We can probably get... We'll be working on trying to get really high development levels, but we'll see. Unfortunately, provinces in trade companies are, I believe, still counted towards your development level. Look at that, max manpower rise. So having lots of not very urbanized kind of trade company land in Persia and Arabia is going to hurt us in terms of development level, but we can try and counter it out. Yeah, don't make any cores because we still want more autonomy change. We need the more missionary strength. It's going to be good. We're getting there on conversions. Beginning to make some headway. Sure, they're slow, but plus the extra 2% from the idea is going to really, really help. Also, yeah, we should probably stop collecting the jizya. That would really help our conversions. We'd be going on average, you know, almost twice as fast. Especially because it would also positively affect our it would raise our piety. Although our piety isn't going to help until it's positive, is it? Actually, positive piety doesn't even help convert. How are we doing in Constantinople? Must have some slow growth there. And yeah, of course, attracting skilled artisans. 40%. We're so close to getting a plurality of Sunni in the capital. If we could just get like 10% of the existing Orthodox people to convert to Judaism or something, we'd get, I suppose 20%. We'd be able to get Sunni to be the plurality. Right, we can claim this province now. You have a core on that one, so I don't really need to get a claim there. We can stop spying on Trebizond. Now we've got their lovely, lovely capital. And nowhere out here can get cored, can it? Oh, actually, this one can. Nice. We will still core them, even though we're obviously trying to get the idea group. We just want to get the manpower from having more cores is very valuable, of course. So we could declare war on these guys still. Wait a minute. Why do I have no Reconquest CB on Theodoro? Crimea is my subject. They have cores there. Excuse me, game. It's bugged. Oh, what happened here? Austria Yeah, Bohemia. It looked like Austria was going to claw their way back, but it seems Bohemia is going to yoink all of Austria in this game. And there goes Milan growing as well. I'm hopeful that Milan unites Italy so that it's simpler for us to burn down Italy by just attacking Milan over and over. Split between Milan and Naples is also an acceptable outcome. Another 200 ducats for the education system, please. How are we doing now? I mean, I think I can do the maths. We were supposed to give them 1,000. We've given them 500, but yeah, still tracking pretty much as expected. Fair enough. Getting 660 manpower a month. Pretty good. We could presumably demand more from the Grators. But I think I'd rather have the loyalty with the Grators right now. If we get declared war on by a coalition, of course. I mean, maybe we should even bait a coalition to declare war on us, because we could absolutely annihilate it. Because the partial military support we could get for free from the lesser and greater nobles would give us like 60,000 units. 60,000 troops, not 60,000 units. That would be a heck of a lot. 60 million troops. But yeah, if we could get declared war on, we could raise up a massive army to fight that and then fight the Mamluks. This is 2.5, not 2.52 technically. 2.5206, not 3. We could raid and loot France. We could, but it would take an unbelievable quantity of manpower. Sieging all the way through France, not to mention just fighting France, when I did it in my Castile campaign, cost me about 80,000 manpower. Takes a long time. But we will definitely. I mean, we've set our expansion goals, and beyond those expansion goals, we will either be establishing marches or burning to the ground. So I intend to try and burn a lot of land to the ground. Tokat cause. Huh. Okay. The people of this province having come to respect and admire our nation now view themselves as core. Cool. And the people of Tokat clearly have international influence, because it looks like the coalition is going to disband. Nice. Don't really need to spy on these guys as much anymore, do we? A revolt! Lower taxes. Every single time that event pops up, just lower taxes. So Zeta, still in with Venice. I think this is probably the war we declare next. A conquest war against them, and we full call Venice. And then we take Crete off Venice. And that secures our hold over all of Greece, which I think completes a mission. Yeah, the Aegean Islands. Oh, good. We get some sailors. That's obviously useless. And yeah, then I'll be on to the Mamluks, basically. And declaring war on Zeta will pull in Wallachia and Naples. But we can take... Well, I mean, that's a lot of... I don't know. That's a lot. I don't want to fight Naples and Venice and Wallachia. Well, we could do it. It would just cost us more manpower than it's sensible to spend. So let's just deal with uprisings for a minute. God, there's not much supply limit up here, is there? You can go here. How many men are rising in this Zetan uprising? 4,000. Okay, you don't need the general. The general can stay here and drill. And what was it again? 1444 we had a truce with you. Yeah. Maybe we go to war with Hungary one more time before we go against the Mamluks, and we just kind of don't take much land from them so it doesn't cause more Christian coalition problems. We just burn them down, get a bunch of loot, pour it into the education system. We're patrons of the arts, really. It's just a shame that our patronage is so evilly funded. God, it really shows how well we've done in terms of growth that we've had to give such a vast contribution to the education system. I mean, maybe we should target level 5. on education, because we've got 37 ducats coming in right now. And we're spending what on education? 10 ducats a month? We're spending 10% on education? We can afford to spend 15 to 20% on education. Advisors, I would like to spend some more, please. Yeah, it's going to double it. So we're going to spend about 20% now on education. It's going to lower our income from 39 to 29 ducats. Don't get me wrong, it's massive, but early game is when it's most important to have a surplus of monarch points. In the late game, it becomes trivial. You get level 5 advisors. It's all fun games. For now, I think this is better. Of course, now we're missing 1,000 ducats of education funding, but it's going to trend up slowly. We should also... We don't need to target 45, because you only need to be over 40. Let's target 42, which is going to get us back another ducat a month. And I'm not going to give them the endowment to get up to that. We can just let it trend. Should be fine. Now, meanwhile, on the court right now, what are we looking at? We have a respectable court. If we could get up one higher level, how much would that cost us? Right now, we're spending 50 and 15 from capital buildings. And it's declining. So what if we targeted level 4? It's an extra 5 ducats a month. I think we can do that. I think it's a good moment to up the spend. And we'll get the court endowment via loot. So, I mean, we cut our monthly profit by... let's not... Well... Yeah, let's not do the education just yet. I think I'd rather have the 10 ducats a month to build to build infrastructure right now. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right. We'll keep the court though. I'd like to upgrade the court. That'll be useful both for coalition management and for debt flow slots. So where's the next likely uprising? We've got pretty much under control in most places. Not quite close enough that we could get to coring in the east. More cores coming in, which will raise the manpower cap, which is already steaming ahead. Burgers, how much money could I get off you if I demand it these days? Let's take a look. 300 ducats. I honestly expected it to be more than that. But okay, stabilize the education system. Put some more funding into the courts. Court, rather. We only have one right now. You get more in local courts later on. Should be good. Anything else I need to do? Think so. Could make the graters happier. They're trending happier right now, probably because of our new rich acquisitions in the east, which is obviously very high autonomy just now. Trebizond's already down to like 50. Yeah, don't need that. Could really do with getting rid of our heir. Are we willing to take negative prestige to do it? I'd rather not, but I am going to. We're going to immediately appoint a favourite. Oh, we got an instant heir, but he's not the one we're going to want. We could really do with extra admin right now. Oh, look at him, a 455. Oh, baby, that's worth minus prestige. Oh, baby. Oh, he's tolerant. Come on, that's -2 missionary strength. Don't tell me you can't read, Christo. +1 tolerance is -1 missionary strength. So it's -2 overall. That's frustrating, but he's good, though. He's good. Still a good get, even though he's his tolerance renders him imperfect. Well, I'm going to take a break here. Call it a part. Thank you ever so very much for watching. In the next episode, we will deal with some of the rebels, the fallout from our strong stance against the lesser nobles getting uppity, and then hopefully disband the coalition and probably either move against the Mamluks or Hungary. I think we are going to move against Hungary one more time. We'll take Bosnia from them and we'll burn them to the ground. Just try and depopulate them again. Generally keep them weak. But until next time, thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye.